Hello and welcome, once I pressed the button correctly, to Mad Goes Racing and a further look at the latest content from the 1.4.3.3 update. This is going to be a look at the classic Spa, and when I say classic I mean historic, because I'm an idiot. It happens. Right, this is the 1970 layout. Now, if I click on here and have a look, there are actually two 1970 layouts. There's the historic 1970 and then there's the 1000 kilometre. Now, the 1000 kilometre is the one that hasn't got the chicane at Malmedy, which is down this little grey bit here. And if you look, there's a little dingy kink. And it's interesting that the week before the... Got the right one, am I right? Yeah. Week before the F1 race, there was actually a sports car race, and the Formula One fastest lap during the race was a 3:27 by Chris Amon, and that's 152 miles an hour average. The week before the sports car race, the fastest lap had been 160 mile an hour average, and I'm wondering how much of that is down to that chicane, because the chicane will go and drive, and you can have a look. I'm going to go with the Lotus 49C, which is an age-appropriate car, shall we say, because one of the things that's important to remember is if you don't drive an age-appropriate car around here, you won't really get why it's special. Because if you drive something with high downforce around here, it's just going to stick like shit to a blanket, and you're going to be going. And drive something like this, which is, I don't know whether it's actually got as much grip as it should have. Now, I've set up a 3-lap race, and I am literally going to drive the first lap quite slowly, the second lap a bit more briskly, and the third lap I'm probably going to die. Because it's like everything else, you try and push too hard, you might kill yourself. In terms of setup, absolutely default. I'm not doing anything clever with it. We'll go into about here and go slowly off a line. Right now, modelling on the English, who knows? The modelling on this is really nice. Lots of attention to detail. I just get rid of all this. I'm assuming that they've modelled the houses on some imagery, maybe, or they're more like generic 1970 house or something that's appropriate. That's where it used to go off for this. It used to be a nice big loop. That was many years ago. It also used to go through, was it Stablo? The town of? I'm being shot at! Am I in first gear? Yeah, I am in first gear. Obviously just at that point where the clutch is trying to bite. But, see, there's lots of people up on the top there. Really nice selection of trees, of course. Nice grass. It's things like these white posts. They're all slightly not quite straight, and it really gives it, I don't know what it is about just little details like that bring things to life. If they'd all been nice and uniform, like a modern that had only just been put in by a machine, you'd be going, eh. I think there's one there with a duplicate pole in there, but whatever. I don't know if they shine at night. I've no idea. I haven't actually tried this in the dark yet. I keep thinking I must, but spooky. Yeah, it's things like that, and it's like where the arm goes not quite straight and things like that. It's really give it that extra bit of something. Now, going back to the actual circuit itself and the layout, the Eau Rouge, Radillon. I'm not sure if they're a little bit tighter. I think they're a bit tighter than they are on the modern circuit, but they've certainly got no room for error, so you don't want to be pushing too hard. This sort of long straight, which isn't straight, this was eventually straightened out, all this section, because that is actually became a straight, the Kemmel straight. Here it's not a straight, it's got several bends in it, and this is the point where you're coming up to where you're probably going to have to go, I might need to slow down at this point. But again, I'm just looking at the the scenery and the foliage and everything. I think it's really nice. Lots of pink. I think they're buddleia. I might be wrong, but I think they're meant to be buddleia, judging by the shape of the flowers and everything. I like buddleias. I've got several in the garden of different types. Now this is where this corner is a little bit tight. You have to watch out, and if you do forget to brake, you might just end up going down that little hole there. But again, you look at all the people standing on the side of the bank there, and like a photographer or whatever standing there, and you're thinking, suicidal, wouldn't be allowed now. Which is obviously why they stopped using the circuit. Lovely view over there. I forgot to check before we came around the corner. I'm not sure if these cows are actually static or not. I could sit there and... No, that one's actually bent its head down, so no, they are... I think they're actually 3D models, so they do move around. It's just not a lot. I'd like to see one just get up and gamble around a bit. It's a bit of a laugh, isn't it? This corner, very quick. You come out the previous corner, accelerate down the hill, and very fast. You're going to jump up and down. Yay! Thank you. I tried a couple of laps earlier, and she was going apoplectic. I was like, whatever. But you'll see all the houses where they've got cars parked outside. They're all age-appropriate cars. I'm not quite sure what that one's going to be. Well, I think it might be an old Porsche actually. But yeah, it's all the power lines are all sorted out, so they do look like I must have the anti-aliases on quite well, because it's I can't see any jaggies in the power lines, and that's always a good sign. Again, lots of nice housing on that side, with people just standing looking out of their gardens as you whiz past at 100 and God knows how many miles an hour, and you're thinking, dangerous or what? But yeah, that's what it used to be like. Again, lots of... Ooh, is that a Jag? And that looked like a Renault 4. We play spot the classic car as we go round. That looked like another Renault. Even age-appropriate ambuli. That's the plural of ambulance, by the way. Ambuli. I'll get that in the English language one of these bloody days. Ambulances is just... Oh, it just doesn't roll off a tongue like ambuli. This bunch of people here, you're looking at them and going... If a car comes around this corner and gets out of control, a whole load of these people are going to get wiped out. But that's the realities of 1960s and 70s racing. This corner is hugely fast. I'm not sure if you can quite take it 100% flat. I can't remember if you can or you can't, but we'll try it on the next lap. Again, nice modelling, lots of houses. Again, I'm assuming these have all been put in roughly the right place and they're roughly the right shape and size. Twins! There's so many twins in Belgium, I don't know what it is. Hello! Yeah, you don't want to be going off down there. It's like, did I just see a cow moving? I think I might have done. But yeah, it's again, a load of people on the hillside. Lovely view. And we're only 4 kilometres round the... God knows how many kilometres it is. I've forgotten how many it is now. I think we're just at the point the clutch isn't quite biting. Come on, bite. That's better. But again, if you came around that corner and slid off at the end of it, whoa, wipe out. Now, this is the Malmedy corner. And I know that because it's where the Malmedy chicane is. Now, in the 1,000 kilometre layout, you'd be going off down here at a hell of a rate of knots. That's pretty much flat. This, on the other hand, is definitely not. And this is the point where I'm going, I don't know how many seconds difference it is between the Malmedy layout with chicane and without chicane, but this is quite a tight little chicane, so you'll be down in first gear and then you'll be off accelerating from 50 miles an hour maybe instead of doing about 150 miles an hour. So you're 100 mile an hour down as you come onto this straight, and you're going to lose that time all the way down here, as well as having lost time through the chicane itself. So I would have to do a back-to-back, but I'm reckoning 10-15 seconds at least you're going to lose from that one chicane. So that's quite impressive. Thing is, I don't know why they stuck the chicane there. Realistically, I don't think the Malmedy corner itself is that dodgy. It's the next really quick chicane where, although everybody says you can basically, even in these, more or less get around it flat. But it's just one of those, I think I'll just have a little confidence lift before we go through here type corners. Obviously, if you had damage modelling on, you would wipe yourself out if you hit anything going through there at 180-ish miles an hour, which is what these top out at in default setup. I don't know if you can get a bit more out of them or not. And again, I don't know whether you'd actually want to try and get much more out of them, because swings and roundabouts with straight line speed versus cornering speed. I just love how bent these poles are. Some of them. Again, it gives it that sort of life feeling. Again, lovely view across the valley there. Might just speed up a little bit. Hello. Again, people just standing about. Do they all look like 70s clothes? I don't know. I wasn't that old in the 70s. I wasn't wearing grown-up trousers and things. I was probably still wearing shorts. Now, slightly downhill, and then they go slightly uphill along this straight. Yeah, Volkswagen Beetle, I believe it was. As we cruise along, you'll see there's a lot of nice sort of detail texturing on the road and little bits here and there. Some of these, they're not just a texture, there's actually a slight difference in the surface itself, the modelling of the surface, so you get little bumps here and there in sort of where there's different tarmac comes up. I'm not sure if that's one of them. Is that a... No. Just like it looks like cars have died there. There's a little stain of death from the car. At least you hope that's fluids out of the car, not out of the driver. But quite a long straight. Obviously at this speed it's long. Now, this is where we come up to the ridiculously fast chicane, the name of which I cannot for the life of me remember. But trying to actually pin this flat out is one of those, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I've run out of grip, I've run out of track, I've run out of talent, or I've run out of, oh my god. And you do have big accidents if you have an accident here. Citroën, hello. Bonjour. Mini. And an Alpha, maybe? I think it was an Alfa Romeo. Again, all nice models, lots of detail on tarmac, grass differences, lots of variability in foliage. So it's really, really nicely done. And again, you sort of see these little things off to the side and you're thinking, oh, nice little detail there, nice little detail there. So it's only when you drive around slowly that you really get all the detail. Although, having said that, even at really high speeds, 120, 130 miles an hour, on a racetrack, you're going, oh, hello, I saw you standing there as you were watching the race that day, and you're thinking, how did you see me? Because it's quite easy to spot people and things beside the track, you'll be surprised. So you don't end up like totally focused on just the next 100 metres of tarmac. You're sort of seeing things around you all the time. Bizarre. At least I did. So I always spotted my mate, even if he moved to a different place around the circuit. It's like, oh, you were there today, weren't you? Yeah, how did you spot me? You're easy to spot, mate. You're quite big. Right, another long straight downhill. This is where you get probably as fast as you're going to get along here. You'll probably be banging off the rev limiter or the upper revs down that straight. This corner is uber quick, and this is the point where you're trying to decide where you're going to turn in from this next corner. It's quite easy to actually run a bit wide on that one as well. So the next couple of corners you're going, where do I turn in, where do I turn in, where do I turn in, because you want to be sort of apex in the corner, but not too early, not too late, because it really does affect your ability to get out of the next part. This is slightly banked. The racetrack used to go off over there somewhere, if I remember rightly, and that's where it goes down to Stablo. The village down there somewhere, and then it comes back out here somewhere. Is it here it comes out? I think so. I might be talking out my arse, but again, you want to be able to get out of that corner and up here without running out of road and as fast as possible. There's a couple of little ridges there that make it quite difficult, and you get pushed wide if you're in something without a downforce, which is what you should be driving around here. Age appropriate vehicles. You drive a sort of even a Group C car around here, you're basically flat out all the time. It's like, really? Interesting bridge to your front door. But if you don't get out of that last corner quickly, you are going uphill, and you want to have as much speed to start the uphill section as possible, because obviously if you're going uphill, good old gravity's slowing you down, so you don't get as much acceleration and as much top speed, although you can top up along here. This corner is quick. This should be flat. Again, all these little white posts that are not quite straight, just tickles me to see them. And all these poles are slightly too much not straight in maybe one or two cases, but again, nice selection of trees. Although they're all sort of piney type trees, there's differences, and you're not immediately drawn to it going, oh, that's been repeated 3 million times and looks exactly the same as the trees next to it. They've got enough variation that it doesn't draw you out of the immersion, which is always nice. This is slightly tighter, but still should be flat if I remember rightly, and it's the next right that's a bit more of a pain. I think this is the one that's a bit tighter. You'll soon know it when you're actually driving around it, because if you don't quite get it right, the accidents you have around here are massive. Now I think this one is this the slightly less tight one? There's two right-handers, and I can't remember whether this is the tighter one or that's the tighter one, but they're both quite open for oops moments on the exit, and you might end up in the grass, and if you do get on the grass, you're likely to spin, and the next place you end up is in the barrier on the right hand side, and yeah, can be a disaster. Again, nice little car park full of people watching, waiting for you to have a monumental accident. One or two of them waving. But yeah, I think this is actually the faster corner, but I might be wrong. It's one of those, you drive around it at high speed and it makes sense, and you drive around it at low speed and you're going, no. Silver birch tree, very nice. So yeah, it's superbly modelled. I think they've done an excellent job of this. I think this probably has to rate as one of the best versions of the track I think I've ever seen. Like I said, sometimes going around the track slowly, you there's a little bit of flickering on the edge outside of that building there. Interesting. But loads and loads of detail. There's people with two cars in their driveway. Obviously they were all rich in the 70s. Probably because they had really cheap mortgages. not. That house almost looked like it was boarded up and nobody lived in it. I don't know why. Right, this corner again is quick. The next one is also pretty much flat, and then you get to the point where you're going, I better slow down a bit for that one. Ah, bit of a bump on that little bit of tarmac there. Obviously the tarmac's slightly higher up than the surrounding tarmac. I'll come through here, and you definitely need to slow down a bit. Well, in one of these you do. I have driven a car where you can actually go flat around this corner as well, and it's like mental. So you need to slow for this one a bit. I'll probably drop one gear, maybe two in these. If you get the line right, looks like everything else is working out and getting the line right. At 3.5 to 4 minutes a lap in something like this, you don't get to go around it that often. Like I said, the fastest lap was 3 minutes. I can't come 1 minute. 3 minute 27, and that's 152 miles an hour, and that's just mad. Again, this corner's a little bit tight, so you might want to slow down a bit for that one. And then to the La Source hairpin, which is still a hairpin. Down to first gear, if you weren't already in first, that is. And then braking not too early, not too late. And this has got a little bit of camber to help you out. Not a huge amount. You can actually push quite easily coming out of here. So let's see if we can press the right button, get us back in the car. Tyres a little bit cool, so it's actually, the exit is surprisingly tight out of there, so it's quite easy to push really too far right on the exit and end up on the grass and spinning yourself. This bit should all be flat in just about anything. And then you come through to already down a couple of gears. Don't drive on the grass. Downhill, you should be able to hold flat around there. Now this is where you check your balls before you turn in, because at some point you're going to be going, can I actually hold that or not? You drift a little bit, and then you sort of effectively double apex it, and then of course you got to remember I'm on the one with a chicane, and try and work out where you might want to brake. Minimum 43 miles an hour, I think it was, so definitely not that quick through there, and you will lose a lot of time compared with the flat corner. You're definitely at least 100 miles an hour faster through there. Like I said, we're using default, so we're hitting 182-ish miles an hour. Now, can I get through here flat, or will I have a little bit of a lift? We'll have a little bit of a lift on this lap because I'm not sure how long my tyres are. And yeah, it could have gone a bit faster through there, but it's like everything else. You think, do you want to die? In the virtual world, you only get to go, oh well, it didn't really hurt. And again here, how fast can you go? I will go down to fourth to get out of here, because I'm never quite sure if fifth will give you the same exit. Now this should be flat. This should be flat. That's not quite flat. That's not quite flat. I do wonder if these tyres are just a little bit lacking in grip. Obviously they're the same for everybody, so it doesn't really make a lot of difference, but flat. I went down 2, you'll probably get away with 1. Might try it on the next lap and see if we don't die, but because that's over a little bit of a rise, it's surprisingly tight. Of course, getting out of a tight hairpin, always watch out for a bit of wheel spin. No idea what the lap time was, I'm not going to look until I got through here. .341, that's probably not too bad. So there's about 13, 14 seconds off what was a really quick lap. I wouldn't have qualified for the Grand Prix with that lap, I have to say. A little bit of a lack of bite from the front end. I don't know if I could add a little bit of front wing, whether it'd help at all. Not sure. Like I said, this is default, so it's whatever it is. It's definitely a circuit that requires a bit of concentration. That is horrible, that entrance in there. Now we might try and hold a little bit more the rear, but my right foot might not take anything from my brain going, come on, you can do it, you can do it. My right foot will go, no, fuck off, and might lift, so I keep wanting another gear. I want another gear. Just a little bit of a feather. Just a little lift, teeny bitty lift. In some ways I actually find this corner more bloody difficult because get the power down as early as you can so you get the most out of the corner. Give a little bit in the mid corner and then hope to gain on the exit. Scary. I'll try and push it to the edge a bit more. I'll try to push without crashing. Asking miracles, I know. We're gained the odd 10th up the hill. Still going to go down 2 for that one, just to be on the safe side, but trying to brake the engine just into the last corner. Good move. .336, so that's what, 9 seconds off the fastest lap, so that's probably not a million miles out. I don't think there's probably too much it could do to adjust the tyres for that mean, that's like 9 seconds over 3.5 minutes, so 3%, 2%, 3%. If it's within that, I mean, that's as close as you're gonna get, really, isn't it? So what I'll do, I will save the replay, and try and put it up in the top right corner, hopefully, and that way you can see what it looks like from outside. But this is really nice addition to the game. The choice of the with or without the chicane of Malmedy makes it interesting. I've never seen one with the Malmedy chicaning. They've all the ones I have seen been with the fast Malmedy corner. So that's an extra dimension. So if you want to do a genuine 1970 Spa race, you will have the option to do it with the correct chicane. So that's good. Like I said, trying to run around here with something with high downforce is almost a waste of time. Although the just trying to thread the car between the lines is still a bit of a challenge. But I did run the Sauber Mercedes round here in the beta, and it was like basically flat everywhere. And I was like, it's mental. I think I wound it up to 100% bloody everything, and it was pulling ridiculous speeds, and it was still getting around all the corners without lifting. And you're thinking, that's just insane. So picking an appropriate car that would do justice to the course. I mean, there's something like the little Lotus 23 is 23. The little Lotus sports car is actually quite a good fun around it because it's got very skinny tyres. So although it's flat out everywhere, it's still drifting around all over the place around the fast corners. So that's quite a good fun. But I'd say if you haven't driven the Spa, grab something like the Lotus 49C, have a go around it. I'm sure you'll all slaughter my lap time around here, but like I said, this is just as it is in default. You could probably get a bit more out of it. Assume you can. I won't do it now. I assume you can adjust the gearing enough to be able to get a bit more out of it, get closer to 195 miles an hour. I think they were doing 190 plus in 1970. I'd have to double check my Google skills to find that information, but yeah, I'm sure they managed to get some really high speeds out of these cars. Certainly without wings on, which is what they did when they first came out with wings on and ran them at Monza. They took the bloody wings off them and effectively ran them as like the 49 without wings. And you're thinking, man, you go to all the trouble of sticking aerodynamic devices on them, and you go and take them off to go around Monza. But so, but for me, for now, that's everything about the Spa track that I'm going to tell you for now, unless I think of something, and if I do, I will stick some appropriate wordage on the video. So from me for now, enjoy your racing, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Where's my button?